Thank you, Vinita Gandhar. Come on. Okay. I'm audible, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Ji. Okay. Thank you so much for staying back. We will continue our day at Parikrama. Yesterday we finished Govardhan and we entered Radhakund. So we will do Radhakund Parikrama. Around Radhakund, there are so many Goswami, Samadhis, Bhajan Kutirs and temples. So we will see all that. Before we go, we'll take blessings of Shri Shri Radha Shyam Sundar, Shri Gaur Nitai, Krishna Balaram, Tulsi Maharani, Srila Prabhupada, all the Guru Vargas, so that they will assist us soon nicely in our parikrama. And today we are entering the most holiest place, Radhakund. And all of my heart, if given a chance, I will go to Vrindavan now. Most of us will be in the same state, but what to do? Okay, so this is the aerial view. This is Radhakund and this is Shyamkund. They're worshipping Radharani by offering diyas. So we'll start. This is called Sangam. That said, Shyamkund is there and Radhakund is here. So the joining in this middle part, this is called Sangam. Okay. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in Govinda Lilamrit, he mentions that Radhakund has like Ashtasakis are there. So because of that, there are 8 kunjas for 8 Sakhis in Radhakund. And for Ashtasakas, there are 8 kunjas in Shyamkund, 8 different places for 8 Sakhas. And we know that there are 3 main places where Radha and Krishna 3 different times, morning, afternoon, and in the evening. So at Radhakund, they are from 10:48 to 3:66 p.m. So these 4 hours they are at Radhakund doing their leelas. Then we'll see 2 different, so how Radhakund appeared in spiritual world and how Radhakund appeared in the material world. Mostly how it appeared in material world, most of us all know. They have shot even in Little Krishna so nicely. Krishna, 1 minute. Okay. Okay, so in the spiritual world, what happened? One time Radha and Krishna are sitting and talking. They're having some nice exchanges. And then suddenly Radharani gets into the mood of she somehow in that talks, she gets into that mood of Krishna's bhav. And she will start saying, hey Krishna, where did you go? Like how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, something black he sees, he jumps in ecstasy, runs for Krishna. So she was like, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. And she was running here and there. And the gopis didn't know what was happening. She was crying in ecstasy. And then the gopis were asking, Krishna, what did you do? Radharani is, crying. What happened? Then suddenly when Krishna was about to go to Radharani, he will hear a voice, Akashvani, saying that if you want to see Radharani, just sit here and meditate. So he will be sitting there and saying Radha, 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 and tears will flow from his eyes. And then meanwhile Radharani, she was out of that ecstasy, so she comes walking to Krishna and she will see Krishna in ecstasy and she'll like, Krishna, what has happened? And when he comes out of that ecstasy, he will say, hey Radhe, see, you are ecstatic, and from your tears there is a kund that has formed, so that will be Radha Kund, and from my tears there is a kund formed, that is Shyam Kund. So it's basically their love. And he says, from today onwards my favorite is Radha Kund. So in spiritual world it's formed like that. And here how Krishna kills the demon, and then the gopis tease him, saying like, you killed a cow, so you have to go and bull, so you have to go and do atonement. So that sweet pastime where Krishna calls, so Krishna will say, I will call all the heavenly waters here, like all this and all the um, Ganga, Saraswati, Godavari, Kaveri, they all will come, all the 7 holy rivers. And then Shamkund is formed, and the gopis say, we don't want to use your water. They'll go to Mansi Ganga to fetch water, and they couldn't make any kund. The water was not being retained. So Krishna, by the order of instructions of Krishna, the whole holy rivers again come, and they'll help Radharani, like in Radha Kund, like they all come in Radha Kund. And so now Radha Rani's Kund is formed. So Radha Kund and Shyam Kund. Actually, somehow when we go to Radha Kund, Shyam Kund itself, like it's so divine when you're walking towards Radha Kund. Some of like who all will experience. Like when we are walking itself, it's a very divine feel. And surprisingly, if we go anywhere, even the auto wala, wherever you're going, we will never say we are going to Shyam Kund. They will say, can we go to Radha Kund? I am going to Radha Kund. We will say, actually, I was reading one article which Mahanidhi Swami, he stays in Vrindavan. So he has written, he writes very deep pastimes and deep articles. So he was saying, in like Radha Kund has been cleaned 2 times, 1987 and 2009 also, after 22 years in 2009. So in the article he mentions like somebody else's conversation. Like one time that one like he was going to in the vegetable market um, with a person who came from Mumbai. And then just casually while they were talking, he will talk saying that uh, Radhakund is close by. Like, do you want to go? Then a little kid who's a Vrajvasi just walks by and he will say, he was just walking around and he will say, it's not Radha Kund, it's Radharani herself. So all the Vrajavasis believe like Radha Kund means Radharani. And one time Prabhu wrote, like he says that he took an auto from Radha Kund to Vrindavan, and this auto was like this auto wala parked his auto beside Radha Kund, waiting for this Prabhu. Like no, not waiting for this Prabhu. Basically, they wait because they'll have some passengers. So this Prabhu came out of Radha Kund and he took that auto and he went to Banke Bihari temple. So he asked, do you want to come and have Banke Bihari darshan along with me? And the auto wala said, no, I just had Radharani's darshan. And this Prabhu didn't have a clue. Like, when did he have Radharani's darshan? We didn't even stop anywhere in between. We came straight from Radha Kund to Banke Bihari. And he says, my auto was parked beside Radharani. So she's none other than, like basically saying, because he was near Radha Kund, he's saying, I was near Radharani. I saw Radharani. So I don't have to see anybody else. So that's the, sometimes we see Rajavasis, like this summer we went, I told, right? My mother was with me, my mother-in-law. So there were a lot of little kids and they kept on asking, you don't go to school? You don't go to school? You will not study? What are you doing here? Like that they're asking. So we might feel that they're not going to school, or some are still going to school, but we don't look them like other kids of the kids in cities, but they are much better than us. So the little kid is saying Radha Kund. It's not Radha Kund, it's Radha Rani. And even during the cleaning process, we'll see a video. I found one video of how the cleaning happened in 2009. So basically the Vrajavasis believe that Radha Kund is Radharani herself. So she can never become dirty. Rather, she can remove all the dirt from all the sinners, like all of us. So but still they all enjoyed that cleaning process, and they all helped. Like all the Vrajavasis, little kids, big kids, older kids, everybody, despite of the caste. It's not like only Brahmanas has to touch. Like, despite of the caste, everybody were taking buckets and buckets, like taking the mud from Radha Kund, climbing the steps, putting in the tractor, like everything they were doing. And they saw Kankana Kund, and from the helicopter they were actually throwing flowers on all the people who were helping. So it was like a joyful celebration. The cleaning time, it was like a big celebration. Everybody were there, coming together, cleaning, and everybody was saying, hey, Radhe Radhe, like that. in Vrindavan, it's very well known fact that even everybody they say Radhe only. When you're walking, they say Radhe. The auto wala or the tangas they have, instead of ringing bells, they'll say, "Oh Radhe, Radhe, move, move, move." Instead of moving, also they say that. So it was like a joyful festival. And one Brahmana, it seems he mentioned that Radharani is changing her dress after 22 years because Radha Kund is Radharani. It's like her body. So the water is like her dress. So the Brahmana said, like, she's changing her dress after 22 years. So that's how they consider Radha Kund, not just as some water, but it's just Radharani herself. So we'll see that. This is the cleaning. And that's that Kankana Kund. That's the original Kunda that the gopis stick with the bangles. This was very old, I think 1987. So we know like Shiva is the protector of Vrajadham, and he is also there around Radha Kund, protecting Radha Kund on all the directions. And it is said that we should go and take blessings of Kundeshwar Mahadev first before even we are entering Radha Kund. So Kundeshwar Mahadev is there, Bakandi Mahadev is there, and Kundeshwar Mahadev is protecting south side, Bakandi on the east side, Rameshwar Mahadev on the west side. So there is Radha Raman temple here, Radha Vinod temple, so many temples. This is Kundeshwar, right? So this is Bakandi Mahadev. And then while Raghunath Das Goswami was excavating Radha Kund, he found these old, it's called as old Radha Krishna temple around Radha Kund. So these deities were found, and this temple is there around Radha Kund. Radha Krishna. And then Gopal Manipur Mandir is also there. So what happens is Gopal deity comes in the dream of King of Manipur, and he will request for establishing a temple. And the temple should be in such a way that he has to face Radha Kund so that he will have darshan of Radha Kund always. And also he can give darshan to sun god. So it's constructed in such a way that the rays of the sun, the first rays fall on the deity. And here... and King of Manipur, later this temple was given to Bhakti Swarup Damodar Swami. So he gives it to him. And ISKCON devotees are only taking care of this. So we'll have Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj's Samadhi also. This is the Samadhi and this is the deity. And see, for Radha Kund, this is the ramp, like cows can go and drink the water here, from here. And if Radha Kund, so just it's just together, we can say. It's not even, there is not even a gap, just adjacent. We'll have this Raghunath Das Goswami's bhajan Samadhi is there, and I'll show you where it will be. Just give me. Yeah, see, this is Radha Kund, right? Here all there are steps. So if you come here, there's an entrance, and here you will have that Raghunath Das Goswami's Samadhi. And if you walk here, there is Janava Mata's bite. So Raghunath Das Goswami's Samadhi Mandir is there. Actually, his Samadhi is also there at another place, but he comes in the dream of, I forgot which Goswami, but he says his desire, he wanted his Samadhi to be at Radha Kund. So they, I think this is Pushpa Samadhi. They established a Samadhi here, and Raghunath Das Goswami stayed on the banks of Radha Kund for 41 years. Why did he come here? After Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left this planet, he was so disturbed. He was so disturbed because they were all personally with the Lord, serving him, assisting him. So he was missing, and he felt so dejected. He went to Vrindavan and he was talking to Sanatan Goswami. He was telling his pain, and he wanted to leave his body. From like standing on top of Govardhan, he just wanted to jump and leave his body. But Sanatan Goswami comes to know of this plan, and he will say, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu one time said, this body is not ours. Like, you don't have any right to do this, so please don't do that. So understanding, after Sanatan Goswami spoke to him, Raghunath Das Goswami quit the idea of leaving his body, and he will come to Radha Kund. And he would feel so bad, like, and how come even Radha Kund was discovered? as we all know, 5,000 years Vajranab was there. Then the places were established. Then slowly, everything got faded away. Only 500 years back, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was coming, I think in the month, like he stayed November, December. So little before November, December, he came. And then he was asking everybody, like he came to Aritagram and he asked, do you know Radhakund and Shyamakund? Nobody knew what that Radhakund, Shyamakund was. And people noticed that he was so dejected. And then one person will come and ask, what is Radhakund and Shyamakund? In our paddy fields, there are only two small kunds. One is Gori and one is Kali. One is white in color, one is dark in black in color. So only we know those two very small puddles of water. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately will go to the paddy fields, and when he sees and jumps in the water, he will feel so ecstatic and he will understand it is none other than Radhakund and Shyamakund. So that's how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu found Radhakund and Shyamakund. And people will be like thinking like, what kind of, when Mahaprabhu was in ecstasy, they were like, what is he doing? But finally Radhakund, Shyamakund were found. So Raghunath Das Goswami will come there. But he will think like in future, so many will come. It's a very, very holy place. And he wanted to, he wanted to make it in a proper way, which is so that everybody can come. It's just like a puddle. So he wanted to do something, construct neatly, like so that everybody can come and get the mercy. But he was thinking no money. Then after some time, he thought, why I'm always thinking about money, no money to build Radhakund. And he was thinking like that. But then one merchant, rich merchant, he wanted to donate a lot of money to Badri Vishal at Badrinath. But Badri Vishal DT comes in his dream and he will say, I have enough money. Like so many will be giving me. You please go to Raghunath Das Goswami, who is on the bank of Radhakund, and give all this money to him and tell that I came in your dream and I personally requested to give you. So this merchant will come and give all the money to Raghunath Das Goswami, and then they start excavating, like constructing, expanding. So that's how the construction work started for Radhakund, Shyamkund, and Raghunath Das Goswami was here. And he didn't even have bhajan put. So this is the Samadhi. And there are constant kirtans going on here. Always they're doing kirtans, cooking. That's a Samadhi there. We can nicely circumambulate around and take blessings of Raghunath Das Goswami. And here also there is Janava Mata's Baitak. So why did she come? We all know, like after Mahaprabhu left, Nityananda Prabhu left, she was the only one remaining, Janava Mata, the wife of Nityananda Prabhu, and she actually led our mission. Like she became like a mother, like the head of the Goswamis. She took the charge. So she came to know Raghunath Das Goswami was feeling very sad and depressed and deprived of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, and she also established so many Radharani deities in Vrindavan. And she came to just console and pacify. And Krishnadas Kaviraj I think Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami or somebody keeps telling Raghunath Das Goswami that Janava Mata is coming, and he goes running, falls at her feet and take blessings. So she was here for 2 months. And Janava Mata is none other than Ananga Manjari in the spiritual world. So she also has her kunja. She also has a place in Radhakund. That is the center of Radhakund is her kunja. So one time she was sitting at her baitak. So this is the tree and this is the place. So she was sitting here and she hears a flute, like somebody playing flute. And when she looks at Radhakund, and she sees Radha Gopinath with all the gopis, and she was also there. So seeing that, she faints. Seeing Radha Gopinath's darshan, she faints. So she got the beautiful vision of Radha Gopinath sitting at this baitak, sitting place. Baitak is sitting place. And this is her private bathing ghat, Janava Matas. And we have Bhajan Kutir of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. And we'll have the specialty here is the 3 Goswami Samadhis are in one place, like one room. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami. This is Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. This is Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, and this is Raghunath Das Goswami. The 3 left on the same tithi before Kartik, same tithi, but different years. 3 of them left the body. So 3 Goswami Samadhis are here. And what's it? Raghunath Das. Yeah, so this is the Bhajan Kutir of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and this is the Bhajan Kutir of Raghunath Das Goswami. You see those two pictures, the famous pastimes. One time Sanatan Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami actually would drink only 1 glass of buttermilk, just 1 glass of buttermilk the whole day. And he was so loyal to Radharani that he wouldn't drink if the katori, the Sakistali, the place from Chandra, Sakistali is the place of Chandravali. So he wouldn't even drink if somebody offers buttermilk from the leaves made from that Sakistali trees, he wouldn't drink. So these two pastimes, why Raghunath Das Goswami has to build a Bhajan Kutir, though he's a renunciant, like he could have just stayed somewhere under a tree. But one time a tiger comes and Krishna himself personally comes and saves, because Raghunath Goswami was so absorbed, he didn't even notice the tiger is coming, and Krishna himself will come and protect him. Then Sanatan Goswami will see this. Then he will tell, like, we are taking service from the Lord, we have to serve him, but we cannot take service from the Lord. Then but still Bhajan Kutir, he didn't construct Bhajan Kutir. Then other time Sanatan Goswami comes to meet him. Radharani was because it was so hot, she was taking her pallu and keeping like an umbrella on top of Raghunath Das Goswami's head, and she was sweating. Now Sanatan Goswami becomes serious. Now this is going nowhere, you have to build a Bhajan Kutir and protect yourself, otherwise the lordships are coming themselves. So that is when he will build Bhajan Kutir. Now it is little remodeled. So Bhajan Kutir of Raghunath Das Goswami is there, and this is the Bhajan Kutir of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, both side by side. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also stayed here for more than a century. And this pillu tree, you can see this picture is very recently posted, day before yesterday. This pillu tree is believed to be a Brahmana from Varanasi. I don't know why he became a tree, but this pillu tree has been on the banks of Radha Kund for many, many years. And it is said that this tree would narrate lots of Radha and Krishna pastimes to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So it's on the banks of Shyamkund. And then, as I said, like Shyamkund also have different ghats. There is Manas Pavan Ghat, which is the ghat of Subal Saka, and he voluntarily offered to Radharani, like, you can take bath in my ghat. So that ghat is there, and blue tree. And this is Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's Bhajan Kutir. And we have Radha Govindadev at Radha Kund. We have recently seen that Radha Govindadev is in Jaipur. Now, the original deity that Vajranabh had got carved under the guidance and observation of Uttara, Vishwakarma was carving. So Radha Govindadev moved to Jaipur because of the Mughals' attack. Then they stayed at Radha Kund and Kamyavan. That's why, as that memory, because they stayed here for, I think, 3 days or 3 nights. Some time they stayed. That's why Radha Govinda temple is established here, and there is even in Kamyavan. So this is Radha Govindadev. And we know, like, Radha Govindadev deity was found by Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami one time was like, always his heart was in Govindadev. Where is he? Where is he? Whereabouts? And one little kid named Govindadas, he will come and ask, why are you so sad? And then Rupa Goswami reveals his heart. That is when that Govindadas, he will tell, like, on the top of Gomati hill, there is one cow, like, voluntarily giving milk at one spot, and that cow sits and cries after that. So, and after that, the boy leaves. Rupa Goswami will go there and he will get a voice. It is said that it is Balaram gives voice saying that you dig and there is a deity. And Indradumna Swami Maharaj explains that they dug 5 stories, like how big 5 stories is. They dug that much. They dug 5 stories, yes, underneath, like 5 stories. And then they found the deity. Then they did 4 hours of Abhishek. They established a small temple. Later, one time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asking, I didn't hear from a long time from Rupa and Sanatana. What is happening with them? Then only a messenger comes saying, like, Rupa Goswami found Govindadev deity and he wants help. And immediately Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will ask Kashishwar Pandit, please go and help. And Kasheshwar Pandit's heart broke because he was a disciple of Ishwar Puri, and Ishwar Puri gives instructions after he left. He will say, go and serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because of that attachment, he didn't want to leave Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understood the heart of him, and he will go and get this deity. Now, this deity is called Gaura Govinda. So he will give this deity called names as Gaura Govinda, and he will say, this is none other than me. If this deity is with you, it is as good as I am with you. So Kasheshwar Pandit felt happy. He will bring that deity and he will come to Radha Govinda Dev temple and he will keep that. So this is the feet of Radha Govinda. So this is here. So they will start worshipping him along with Radha Govinda Dev. This is from Jaipur. So if you go to Jaipur, you can see Gaur Govind Deity also. And then Raghunath Bhatta Goswami was sent. How the big temple. Now Govinda Dev temple is one of the most beautiful temple. If we see the architecture wise, it used to be much bigger. I heard it is 7 stories. But Aurangzeb, one time they lit a lamp on top of the temple, and Aurangzeb from Agra saw that lamp. And he was like, how come Hindu temples be so lavish and so huge? And then they demolished. Now it's not very big. I think two stories. Very beautiful, very beautiful temple. It's with red sandstone. So Raghunath the Bhatta Goswami also was here, and he used to make shark-shaped earrings to Govinda Dev. He was a nice cook. He used to cook, read Bhagavatam to all the Goswamis. And his disciple volunteered for building this big opulent temple. And how Radharani came, she goes in the dream of Purushottam Jana, the king of Orissa, and he will say, I forgot check. There was one temple where Lakshmi deity is there. I think Jagannath temple. So she will say that Lakshmi is none other than me. Please take me and establish beside Govinda Dev. So when he runs to the temple from that Lakshmi deity, actually Radharani was giving her vision, like she was showing herself. Then the deity was sent here and they started worshipping beside Govinda Dev. So that's a small, we never go to the temple. So I just gave small history of Radha Govinda Dev temple. And then we come to Jiva Mandir. Jiva Mandir is, you have to come outside of Radha Kund, and there is this very small temple. And this is the thing, Jiva is tongue. So basically this is the tongue of Govardhan. When Raghunath Das Goswami established like the reconstruction, the Radha Kund was neatly constructed. All the villages would come and wash their utensils and clothes, and they were using it for household purposes. So he was feeling bad, and he thought maybe if we have other well for their household purpose, they can go to the other well rather than coming to Radha Kund. And when they were digging a new well, one stone started bleeding. So they stopped the work and they came to Raghunath Das Goswami and they asked, why don't you, like it starts bleeding, what is this? Then Raghunath Das Goswami will say, Raghunath Das Goswami will get a dream saying that, that bleeding stone is none other than me, Giriraj myself, Giriraj Shila, but I'm the tongue of Govardhan. So they will bring that and establish a temple called Jiva Mandir. This is the deity. And if you see the backside of the deity, because they were working with the tools, the impressions of the tools are also there on the backside of this Jiva, like the Shila. And then we have Swananda Sukhada Kunj, where Bhaktivinoda Thakur has his like same thing even in Mayapur. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur built like basically his bhajan kutir here in Vrindavan, and Prabhupada, when he brought his Western disciples, he came here and he was saying like, because Bhaktivinoda Thakur predicted that the whole world chants the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he basically gave all the Western disciples as an offering to Bhaktivinoda Thakur here. And here there is a stick where they used to like, Jayapatak Swami Maharaj has that little stick with, he gives blessings. So like that, there is a stick also here used by Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. They used to give blessings with that stick. That is also there. And they do Ratha Yatra around Radha Kund every year. So there are Jagannath deities as well. And there is Jiva Goswami's Samadhi Mandir also here. And this is the footprints of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sorry, Jiva Goswami's Bhajan Kutir, I'm sorry. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's footprints. And because Jiva Goswami is there, Jiva Goswami's most worshipable deity was Radha Damodar. At Radha Damodar temple, we know like Jiva Goswami took care of Radha Damodar. So Radha Damodar deities are also there at Radha Kund. So these are Radha Damodar. And then this is that Sangam I was telling. And this is in the Sangam, there are Gaurnitai deities, Banke Bihari. So this is the Banke Bihari. You have to go inside temple to take darshan of these deities. And then there is Lalita Sakhi's temple also, close by to Radha Kund. And this is her Kunda, Lalita Sakhi's. This is the deity of her. And then the place where they found this Jiva Shila. So that's the Gopi Kup in a well, right? So this is Giriraj Maharaj at Gopi Kup. The tongue of Govardhan was found. This is there. It's just outside. It's not a temple. It's like outside on a big platform. They keep this. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Baitak is also there. When he found Radhakund, Shamkund, he sat under a tamal tree. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Baitak is there. And Radha Gopinath temple is also there. As I said, Govindadev, Gopinath. And we'll see Ananga Manjari is here. Radharani is here. So Gopinath temple is also here because those deities were also moved to Jaipur. And then Nityananda's Baitak is there at Gopinath Mandir. Nityananda sitting place. And Hanumanji's temple is also there. Small shrine. And actually, I was remembering Raghunath Das Goswami, one time he will fall sick. Then they bring the Vaidya. And they'll ask what happened to Raghunath Das Goswami. And the Vaidya says Raghunath Das Goswami ate too much of sweets. Then nobody will understand what happened. He will drink only a glass of buttermilk. Why are you saying he ate a lot of sweets and became sick? So Raghunath Das Goswami is Rati Manjari in the spiritual world. So in his Siddha Deha, he went to this spiritual world and he assisted gopis in making sweet rice. And the gopis said, you also eat. So he ate sweet rice and he fell sick. So that shows like they're all not from this world. They're all from spiritual world. So that is about Radha Kund Parikrama. Shishi, please, if there are any additions or any corrections, please tell me. Thank you all so much. Shri Radha Kund ki jai, Shri Shyama Kund ki jai, Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Shri Govardhan ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. All the Sample devotees ki
jai. Thank you so much, Mataji. Mataji, I had a question. You were talking about Raghunath Das Goswami. He has excavated a deity from Radha Kund, right?
Yes, Mataji. While he was doing that process, he found that deity.
So he found both Radha and Krishna, or just the Krishna deity, and then Radharani came later?
Mataji, it is written like Raghunath Das Goswami found these deities. So maybe both of them.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mataji. Yes. Very beautiful presentation. Thank you, dear devotees, for joining. We'll end the call here.
Mataji.
Oh, sorry, video, right?
Yes, Mataji, that too.